Hello and welcome back. I'm Joy Fahey and I'm really happy to say that this is number 8 of the How to Paint Abstract mini-series. So if you've got this far, congratulations. I hope you're enjoying the course. Now in this video we're going to talk about how to structure your paintings after you've been playing. Now I've talked a lot about the importance of playing with your artwork. You know, it's the most wonderful thing to experiment and discover all the different things that you can do, and also it's so helpful to finding your own style, for finding your own voice, what you want to express. So in this video we're going to be talking about how to structure that play, how to turn the play painting into a real painting. So let's get started and enjoy this next process. So what we're going to discuss is structuring our painting. What does that actually mean? It means how we put our painting together, our composition, our design. And it's very interesting when you start looking at it in this way, because once you understand how it works, your paintings will really come together. So we're going to start with just doing this in black and white to begin with, and we're going to look at differences, how we can use our painting such that people can be drawn into it, can find something interesting and different in it. So for example, if I was just to draw just one shape. So I've got a shape here, okay, just a box. Obviously, the only thing that your eye goes to when you put that in is there. Now, if I was to do the same thing up here, okay, I'm going to go to that, but it's the same. It doesn't give us anything different or interesting. If, however, I was to make that a lot bigger, then obviously there is a difference, and our eye will go to those 2 points. Then we can go again different. So for example, I can do this and it's different again, it's a different size, it's obviously a different shape. And it's what you would call, those are sort of focal points in our painting. If I was to do something like this, then again our eye is going to go around the picture looking at the differences. But it's all one value. So how do we change that? So if, for example, then I add a little bit of white to this to make it grey, I can still do another circle in the grey, which makes it again interesting. I keep using that word, but it is. But nevertheless, these other shapes still draw our attention. But this is what makes a painting work, is to have those differences. So for example, I could do, you know, something like this, and this is a quieter, it's not so bold, these ones in grey. I could go lighter again, and I could do something here, and it lifts us, but it also keeps us focused on our focal points, on our big differences. And we can do lots of different things around this point. So for example, I could do something like this. Now, it ceases to become so powerful as it was before. It's kind of quietened it down, and the grey in the middle, and it will be white once it's dried, gives us another difference. So when we're doing our painting, we want to have a look at our focal points, what is shouting out at us and what is calm. Now, a lot of the time, the tendency is to make it all shout or all calm. So our eye has got nowhere specifically to go. It's got nowhere to rest. It's got nowhere to go from one difference to another. So we want to strike up a balance between our bold focus points and our softness that leads us around to those focal points. So I could do a lot of different things in the background to make this interesting. And, you know, they're soft, they're not as harsh as the focal points, but they give us, obviously, a different way of looking at the painting. So we've got our focal points, we've got our what's shouting at us, and then we've got our calm points that are leading us into that, into those focal points. Now, that's if we're going to be doing those kind of shapes and designs. What would happen if we were doing something completely different? So, for example, if I was to do, say I'm to do something down here. Say I'm doing, this is still a bit grey, this in black, right? Now, obviously our contrast, our difference is between the black and the white. That's where we're going to go. However, let's change that up a bit and let's do something up here. Okay, again, we're going to those points. Now, what would happen then if we were to do something very different in between? So, for example, I'm just going to turn this. I'm just going to put something in between here. Let's go a bit lighter. So this is our quieter time than our actual difference, our actual contrast. Okay, so, okay, we're going here, and then we've got this softness in between. So let's change that up a little bit. Let's say, I'm going to take a different brush. Let's say we do something like this. Again, we've got some contrast, we've got some difference, and we've got something interesting happening. We can change it up again by doing, again, something contrasting and a little bit softer. We could put something, it's not quite dry, but it will still happen, in here. And it makes it different again. We could do something again that's different. We could maybe come around, put a circle in here, put some dots in here. So we've got some interest, we've got some contrast, we've got very, very harsh, where we're going to immediately, and then we can get drawn around the picture to looking at some of the others. So we need those contrasts and those differences to make the painting really stand out. So values, contrasts, differences, focal points. Where are we looking? Where is our eye going? If, for example, I was to do something down here, again, we've got something interesting. We've kind of crowded it though, haven't we? We've kind of, we're a bit confused. So we can lower that down. We can make that softer. So I'm just going to go over these in white. Maybe if I just left one of them a little bit darker, that would make it, again, quite interesting. So what we're looking for in any painting is those contrasts and those differences. And, you know, even with black and white, if we looked at, for example, the very famous painting of Picasso, Guernica, which is a huge, big black and white painting, it's fantastic. It grabs us. We've got the contrast, we've got the focal points, we've got the differences in values of the lights and the darks, and it's amazing. So when you start to look at this, try it in black and white first before we actually go to colour. We'll do colour in the next video, but this is really worth practicing and seeing how you can create those differences. Now that is if you're just doing some shapes and all that kind of thing. Now what would happen if we were going to do a free drawing? So let me just take this this black here. So I'm going to do like a free drawing here, you know, like we were talking about in one of the other videos. This is sort of like just doing some design, which is interesting, it's fun, and you know, it's a lovely way to start a picture. So then we want to put our contrasts and our value differences into our free drawing. So we could pick out the shapes that we like. So for example, for me, I'm really liking this shape here. So I can actually, I'm going to do it with a thicker brush. I'm going to, it's a bit too much white on there, define that circle here. Okay, I could even fill the whole thing in, or I could just leave a little space in between. Let's have a look. I can do a contrast over here with a smaller circle, and it starts to become kind of interesting, and we can develop this into something of those contrasts, of those values, and get some real interest going on in the painting. Here I've got this nice kind of square over here. I've got this coming through it. I could actually do something now that's a bit softer. I can go softer still, maybe bring something down here, and I want something else that's different. So what haven't we got that's different? Let's put something in different here. And it starts to come together. Let's do something again that's different. So we could do something over here. So our eye is starting to travel around. Let's go then a bit more gentle. We can fill this space in with some different value, so it's lighter. Let's go over that completely. We could do something over here that's lighter. And those are our resting points. Where it goes a little bit lighter is where our eye can rest while we go around the painting. So you can see how this can develop into something really interesting, even though I might do similar shapes. Because I'm doing it in a lighter tone, it enhances the focal points. Let's put something a little bit darker in here. See, sorry, that's mixed with a bit of yellow. Oh, should hold this down a bit. Okay, let's put a bit of water in that. So we can do a lot of different things. If we've got our focal points, we've got our design, we know what, where to go to in the painting. So I can do lots of different variations with the quieter shapes, maintaining my focal points. You could say I need something even bolder. So where could we go bolder? If we actually had a look at this size and this size are quite similar, so we want to sort of break that up a little bit. So maybe I break it up by doing something like this. I could actually fill the whole thing in. So that makes it different again. So it needs to be balanced, so something needs to come down here. So we can put different shape in here. You see how that's starting to work? And we can build up our design. We've had our free drawing, we're expressing ourselves, whatever it is that you're feeling, and then we can enhance our focal points and we can quieten the rest down. So you've got differences in your painting. It's not just flat, it's not just one tone value, it's lots of different values that help us appreciate the design and the picture. So I hope you find that interesting. I mean, you know, this is a lovely way to start, and then we can develop and develop and develop it. It might not stay the same if we do, but we're still conscious of where we're placing our focal points, our differences. They're not the same size, they're different in size. You know, again, I could do something, let's looking at balancing over here. I could do something here, down here. It's different again, it's a straight line. You know, all these are kind of curvy lines. We'll put something straight in it. Maybe we put a triangle here. You see what I'm doing? So I'm looking to see how I can balance it, where my eye is going to, and how it flows through. And whatever kind of painting you're doing, even if you're doing a landscape painting, you want differences in the tone values of, say, the trees, the differences, the sizes of the trees, where you're placing them, so your eye flows around. This principle applies to any kind of painting that you might do. So it's really worth experimenting with and seeing, you know, how you can understand this whole process. So I hope you've enjoyed that and you can have a play with it. I've actually got a whole course on design value and composition, which goes into this whole subject in a lot of depth to help you do that with your painting. And if you want to see that, you can go to joyfaheyartist.com. You can also get my free ebook on colour mixing and a free print. But I'd love to hear your comments. Leave me a comment about what you feel about how this could work. If you've had an aha moment about how you can structure your painting, how you can make those differences so it's not all the same. It's not all the same value. Some are dark, some are light, and some are in between. So you've got a lot of interesting contrasts and values going on in your painting. So leave me a comment. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and press the notification bell if you would like more videos. And all the links to the previous course videos are in the information below. So I'll catch up with you next time when we'll be doing this project in colour. Okay, bye for now.